Hello and welcome to Loren, the Amazon Princess, and yeah, it's kind of a silly title, but okay, let's go with it. I'm RMP792 and I'm back. Haven't actually uploaded anything for a while, my apologies for that, but since I currently have all of one subscriber, that's not really an issue. So, yeah, I haven't done the Let's Plays for a while because I've had a bunch of stuff on, most notably moving, which was fun. Plus I've also had an ear problem, so that would have made recording completely undoable because I couldn't hear out my left ear, which really would have messed up the recording. So, got this game about an hour ago. Haven't actually attempted to play it yet beyond quick audio check, and just for that I used the credits, which I will almost certainly show you at the end of the video, and frankly the song they use is hilarious. Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, I got this game because it sounded vaguely interesting. The reviews were pretty positive, though. I should warn viewers in advance, one of the reviews for it said, and I quote, "I got this for the porn," with a thumbs up. So, yeah, if I have to censor bits of these videos later, I apologise. Right, let us get started. Incidentally, this... Okay. Yes, what was I about to say? Completely lost my train of thought there. Oh yes, this game is apparently almost entirely text-based, insofar as there's no voiceover work. So, I might read out a lot of the text, but I might stop doing that later depending on how annoyed I start to get with the sound of my own voice. So, we'll see how that goes. So, let's see. So, play start. Okay, personally I prefer to customize, so I'm going to go with this standard option over here, I think. There we go. Inside the monastery, there is only one lit room at this late hour. Just enough light to see the empty pages of a thick book. A hooded monk leans over the desk, with a quill in hand. Right, now do I have to click or is it going to... Okay. I am the monk. I am here to write a tale so epic that I cannot sleep until it is told. Already love the writing style. So here I write, the tale of the Amazon Princess Loren. I start this tale from the very beginning, back in a time when the world was blissfully unaware of the turmoil to come. I already kind of like the artwork, that's a very nice castle. We begin high in the mountains, deep in a mighty fortress. Sword slices the head of a training dummy clean off, and it falls in pieces around the feet of a tall, raven-haired woman. Every morning the servants would mend the training equipment so that it may be destroyed again by their princess's hand during the next training session. Okay, couple of points before I continue. One, she's pretty badass, I like that. Two, the armor designs. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, speaking as someone who's worn... Oh, they blink. That's kind of cool. Anyway, speaking as someone who's worn armor, it really helps if it actually covers all of your body. Or at least, doesn't leave your vulnerable fleshy bits over here vulnerable. So, there's that. Anyway, let's move on. One sword was not enough for this fierce warrior. No, she considered a shield dead weight and an empty hand of a death wish. Princess Loren would only fight with a sword in each hand. Where are the other dummies? I'm not going to try and do different voices, whatever. There are none left, my grace. She was displeased to learn that her training would end so early today. She crossed her arms and stared down her attending servants. Then perhaps one of you should fetch a sword. The slaves gulped in unison after having witnessed what damage their princess could do. God, you're kind of vindictive. Seriously. But before anyone could move, the piercing cry of a griffin fell from the skies. Just then, a messenger ran into the training grounds, panting for breath. Is this going to be something about the griffin? Princess Loren, the captain, she has returned. Alone, your majesty. Loren broke into a run. She ran as fast as she could to the main square inside the citadel. The Amazon scouts had landed with their griffins just as she arrived. Oh, come on, more... Okay, I'm not going to go on about the armor designs. The captain of the guards, Brazier, looked extremely grave as she approached her. Loren knew instantly that the news the scouts carried would not be a routine report. Your Majesty, tell me. A scout stepped forward and placed a hand over her heart in a salute. Queen Karen has been lost. Loren's face paled. She disappeared into the night. As of now, we do not know what happened to her. There's not a trace? We searched high and low, Your Majesty. She is not in Amazon territory. That's quite impressive scouting, to cover the entirety of their territory. Then we have no choice in this matter. With the Queen lost, Princess Loren must become our new Queen. No! My mother is still alive and still the Queen! She is not dead. You did not find her body. Searching for her must be our top priority. Your Highness, you know that it is against the law to leave the Citadel. Your mother's fate is too uncertain. That is precisely why we must try to find her. I will search for her myself if I have to. Her hard glare challenged anyone to say otherwise. New quest, find Queen Karen and the missing Amazon Queen. You just discovered your first quest. Yes, okay, thank you. Q key. Or click the icon. This icon. Okay. Oh, awesome. So we've got lots of stuff. Warrior and Blade Master. Ooh. Love a Blade Master. Anyway. Ooh, tooltip heaven. I like lots of tooltips with my RPGs. Because I'm you know, I can usually figure a lot of this stuff out, but it's nice to be explicitly told a lot of things. So, lots of different skills. So she's a warrior and a Blade Master. That's pretty wicked. I do love a woman who can handle multiple swords. Actually, I love a woman in heavy armor. Maybe that's just a issue I have. Anyway, well, let's close that. Fund management screen, viewing the quick character, to skill. Yeah. Your Highness. Brazier looked conflicted. Your mother appointed me as the enforcer of Amazon law, and I must decree, if you leave the Citadel, you forfeit all support from the Amazons. What? When you abandon the Citadel, you abandon your title. That's what the Great Mothers dictated. That's a really stupid law. I mean, that is a really stupid law. Loren took in a deep breath. She would be denied the armory, the military, or even access to the royal treasury. Ah! You mean we're going to have to do the classic RPG thing and build ourselves up from nothing? Awesome. Then so it must be. I will find my mother by myself. Loren! Brazier closed her mouth and looked to her side. Majesty. Do not apologize, Commander. You are doing your duty, and the Queen will honor that when she returns. The Amazons may not be able to help you, but we will give you a promising individual who will aid you. The monk pauses for a moment, looking at what was just written before continuing. And that is how it all began. Loren is a powerful fighter but lacks healing skills. Your playable character has the specialization class Hero, that will be very helpful throughout the whole game. Now it's time to choose your character. I love character creators. Right, so we have either Saren, a male human who's been a slave his entire life, born from a captured Imperial soldier, or Eleanor, a female elf. Now, this appears to be your standard male-female choice. Oh, decision. I think I'm going to do what I usually do when I play these types of games, and I'm going to play as a girl. Don't know why I do, I just always do seem to. I have the option. Warrior or thief? Now, as I stated previously, I like a girl in heavy armor. It's a weird thing, but it's my own, so warrior. Warriors can absorb... it's easier in the early stages since you don't have to worry too much about dying. Fair enough. An elf girl? The princess watched as the elf bowed to her politely. We found her starving and cold. Her allegiance lies completely with the Amazons, and with you. I was separated from my tribe by orcs as a child. If it weren't for the generous Amazons, I would have died. I will work my hardest every day to repay this debt. In your interest, Highness, she is the most talented in healing magic. She can tell me herself. Well, elf, how are you of use to me? Oh, I love a dialogue choice. I served you and Her Majesty dutifully at the... Okay, I'm assuming I pick one of these to improve it. Strength to will. I'm assuming I won't need as much skill. I'm assuming I'm basically at the moment a warrior mage combo, given that mage wasn't one of my available options, and they did say I had healing skills anyway, so let's go with strength now. Oh, okay. I assumed I had to pick one of those. Yes, thank you. Ah, okay, so I'm assuming my stats will probably alter here based on what I say. Decisions. Not knowing what each one actually does. Well, that obviously boosts that. That's probably... Okay, let's go training grounds. As combat instructor. She began teaching only the younglings, but she was soon instructing even some elders. Raise your face to me. Yes, I do recognize you. You have met my blade before. I have had the pleasure of sparring with your highness. Loren smirked to herself. You were one of the difficult ones. Most do not last that long against me. Gained +2 in strength. Excellent. She shows the lineage of great warriors when she battles others. She has displayed her elder predecessor in the training ground easily, making her the youngest sparring master in our history. Useful to know. How did you manage such a feat? Speak. I can hold my own in battle. Sounds like that's a bit of an understatement, dear. For the last several annual improving competitions, I have been sponsored to enter and have won many titles. For this year's proving, I was granted top place in. I'm assuming that's probably strength, skill, and will again. So let's say the arena. Indeed, she fought many warriors and surpassed them all. Another +2 in strength. Ooh, a longsword. I like longswords. I can fight with one of those. Sorry. Yep. Not only has she demonstrated superior fighting ability, but she is extremely loyal. Tell them. I was allowed the honour of accompanying my mistress to the tavern, where she was disrespected by several rude drunkards. They were looking for a fight, so I offered to teach them a lesson. Let's go with diplomatic option. Let's say reasoned. I was able to talk the Amazons down from a fight, reminding them that Queen Karen forbids such brawling, sparring my mistress, any bloodshed. Well, it is true she respected her mistress deeply, as she will respect you. She did not fail to craft a present for her mistress for the winter solstice. Tell her, what was the last gift you made? I showed my loyalty by giving her... sword, bow, book. Okay, again, this is obviously strength, skill, will. And I like to balance strength and will, so rare book. It was a fortunate find at the marketplace, and I knew my mistress was fond of ancient arcane literature. She revealed to me later that it had taught her much about the ways of magic, and I was able to learn from her. Gain +2 in will. Excellent. She received the gift very well, and I was praised. I was happy just to give her a small emblem of the strength and wisdom. Bloody hell, I'm losing the ability to speak already. Unfortunately, even my mighty mistress was not invincible. She succumbed to a grave illness, and in her last days she called me to her side. She granted me one reward for my service, and I chose. Oh, decisions. I'm assuming this is probably another strength, skill, will. It's always... But I'm assuming I'll probably actually get this particular item. I'm personally going to spec this one, I think. I've got a long... Yeah, let's go sword and board. Her crested shield would be my honour to carry, and her glory would always help protect me from then on. It has saved my life several times since that day. +2 strength and acquired a shield. Excellent. And her loyalty does not end there, Your Highness. Elnor has demonstrated an act of true servant of the Citadel. I was approached by another slave. They spoke of fantastic lands and cities, a life on the way from the Citadel. I associated with this person to the point that he confided in me a plan to escape. He wished for me to come with him, and I... Oh, decisions. Thwarted him, refused to help free him, convinced him not to escape. Well, that's the scumbag approach, because I don't like doing that. I'm gonna go with convinced him not to escape. I needed to only explain to him the benefits of staying and how marvellous the citadel already was. He would have surely been helpless if he left our walls, so I attempted to save his life, and thankfully he listened. Such a skilled tongue will likely be very useful to you on your travels. Okay, +2 and well, excellent. It will be a difficult loss to let go of our most prized slave. However, I will trust you with no one less, my princess. Are you happy with your choices? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm happy with that. That's good. It would be useful to travel with someone like you. Are you willing to risk your life for my cause? My life is yours. I suppose you will be satisfactory. Gee, thanks. Loren demanded an immediate departure, as leaving could not be too soon with her mother missing. Chapter 1. The Rescue. Okay, now then. If you've played RPGs before, I recommend the normal difficulty, that's fine. So, decisions. I'm gonna go with normal. I'm assuming I can probably change it midway through if I get too clobbered. Because I'll be honest, I'm playing this for the story, which I've heard is pretty solid, rather than for the combat, but let's go with normal. However, boss battles can be tough. Yep, fine. Remember, if you find the game too easy or too hard as you play, change the difficulty at any time for the preference. Yep, that's good. Excellent. Let's rock and roll. Loren instructed Eleanor to take care of any business in the citadel before they left. You'll be able to shop in each town you travel to. At the start, you'll only basic equipment, carrying a couple of potions. Potions are very useful in some battles, especially at the hard difficulty level. All items you own will be stored in the party infantry, which you can access at any time by pressing I. So let's have a look at the castle. Eleanor and Loren walked up to Commander Brazier. You remain, Your Highness. Have you reconsidered claiming the title of Queen? Absolutely not. I am preparing for my journey. I do not know how long I will be gone, but my hope is for not very. Of course. You seem suspiciously eager to forget Queen Karen. How dare you! You are a slave. You speak when you are spoken to. Silence! She is speaking in my interest. I am surprised at you too. This is your queen you are dismissing so easily. Do not forget that she will return, and will hear of your actions to rescue her. Yes, Majesty. I meant only to enforce Amazon traditions, not to dishonour Karen. Queen Karen. Brazier gulped and corrected herself, shooting a sharp look towards Eleanor. Moments earlier, Brazier had been singing her praises, but now there was an uncomfortable air between them. Well, I didn't actually mean to do that, but oh well. Let's have a shot. So, what have we got? I've got a fine longsword. Do you like yourself a longsword? Oh, why is it longswords are always listed in these games with one-handed? Most longswords were designed to be two-handed. Fine buckler. That's okay. Have I got any money? I've got 100 gold. Standard 200, so I could get myself some alternate weapons if I chose, but I'm not going to do that because that's for to damage 13. Okay, so good, so it does do the standard compare and contrast jobby. Sphere of air. I'm assuming it's green if I can afford it, and yeah, that's listing people use it. Buff, that's good. Okay. Right, don't think I'm going to buy anything from the weapons loadout. Resurrect. Sorry, coming. Bombs, serious items, armour. I'm assuming I probably don't have any armour, do I? Or not a... Yeah, I've got some basic armour. And a bow. Let's equip the shield and... If I've got a fine sword, let us... Okay, so that's my fine longsword. Tempered sword. Huh. That appears to be better. Damage 14 as opposed to damage 13. Critical chance. Yeah, slightly slower though. That's okay. Right, I'm pretty happy with that, I think. So, let's leave the shop. That's okay. Category padded armor. Increased magic skills. Plate helm. Anywho, I can't afford most of this stuff anyway because I've only got a handful of gold, so... Okay, I think I'm good. So let us depart. Review your party setup before proceeding. Okay. Front row. Well, given that they're both warriors, let's put them both in the front row. Finish that. Upon seeing Eleanor approach the front gates, Loren demanded an immediate departure. They would leave the security of the citadel and cross the plains of Avaron to search for her mother, no matter how long it took to find her. The first place to visit was the town of Grimoire in the Human Empire. Eleanor's first goal was to reach the city of Grimoire, the capital of the Human Empire, but it was a dangerous road plagued by goblins and bandits. When they arrived, however, they would be able to begin their investigation. Okay, new quest, travel to Grimoire. Loren and her ally were walking down a road in the middle of the plains, en route to the town of Grimoire. Even though Loren was quiet, Eleanor knew she was thinking only of saving her mother. The only clue we have is that my mother's guards have disappeared as well. If we find them, then we find my mother. That is a good plan, Your Highness. Okay, I'm gonna nitpick this plan. Why would they be easy to find than it would? Okay, fair enough. Let's just do that. Their relationship was as one might expect between a servant and royalty. Eleanor quietly followed the princess. I would only praise and agree with her when given the chance to speak. She was used to being less formal, but then she had never served royalty before. Loren noticed nothing about this behaviour, because she was quite used to it. This is the only way out of the citadel, so the Queen must have passed by here. It would be very helpful if there are any witnesses to unusual activity. But, Your Highness, may I ask a question? Loren glanced at her with a frown. This was the first time she had dared to speak out of turn. If you must, but I cannot promise that I will answer. Why aren't we using a griffin to travel now? They're faster than walking and much safer. You fool, aren't you aware of the laws of my people? Eleanor took a step back, fearful for her life. For the most part, yes. My choice to leave the citadel took away my privileges. The griffins are not allowed to me. Couldn't you change the laws? As queen, but I am not queen. My mother is. I see. I'm sorry I asked, Your Highness. Now you know. Do not forget. I guarantee that I shall not, Your Highness. They travelled, mostly quiet through the day, until it faded to night. The land ran flat with sparse boulders along the path. This looks like a good place to camp. Loren, however, did not stop walking, and continued on without a word. Your Highness? Keep up. Eleanor sprung up from the ground, where she was about to start a fire, and hurried after her. Loren seemed prepared to travel a lot further that night. Eleanor steeled herself for a very long walk, but she found it more and more difficult to keep her position behind Loren. She was beginning to walk much slower. Loren's feet were dragging against the ground, rather than proudly stomping ahead like earlier in the day. Eleanor knew that Princess Loren was tired. We should stop for the night and make camp. My mother is out there, waiting for someone to save her. That someone is me. Loren was not going to stop for even a moment until Queen Karen was covered. It was now Eleanor's job to keep her from sabotaging herself with her own determination. Okay, dialogue decision. Joking, friendly or forceful? Let's try and be friendly. I'm probably going to get killed for this. You will be of no use to your mother running on no sleep. Loren halted and spun around. What did you say to me? Eleanor knew then that her life was over. She was too used to speaking freely with her previous mistress, and her tongue got away from her. I'm sorry, Princess. What I meant to say is that I am too exhausted to continue. Loren shifted her weight and put her hands on her hips. You? I am used to hard labour, but I was always granted rest at night, by the grace of your Highness. Loren evaluated her, though only superficially. Deep down she was more tired than Eleanor. I had thought you stronger than this. Loren pushed past her and into the bushy grass. She sat down cross-legged, her back straight, her arms resting on each knee, just like Amazon royalty. "Lie down, elf. I will give you only a few hours. Do not waste them." Getting Loren to stop was enough for Eleanor, and she decided not to waste her mistress's generosity. She promptly walked over and laid in the grass next to her, but not too close. Eleanor woke a few hours later to Loren calling her. She did not see Loren sleep a wink. However, Loren's speed and alertness had improved, letting her know that she might have rested, after all. "I have seen no pollution since we left." "No pollution? I'm an idiot. I have seen no population since we left. I was told the Grimoire settlement was on this route. Where is it? Is it past that mountain?" "Which mountain, mistress?" "Do you see before us? You've instructed me to walk straight for it." "Princess, that's not a mountain. It is the city of Grimoire." Loren stopped once again to turn to her servant. "That is not a city, it's too large. It is a large walled city like the citadel." "Amazon?" Loren reached for her sword, bristling at the thought of a competing tribe so close to our home. "No, Grimoire is the empire of the... No, Grimoire is the capital of the empire, the nation of men. Please put away your sword. We are not here to make war with them." Loren looked at her blade, frowned, and slid it back into her sheath. "Others can build cities as great as the citadel? Are you sure of what you speak?" "Yes, castles can be constructed by any nation with the proper materials." "You didn't know that?" Loren winced from the insinuation that she was not well educated. "I know that the Amazons are superior to all other nations, so the citadel is superior to all other castles." "Yes, your grace." Wow, okay, she's really sheltered, isn't she? Oh, that's what the subtitles say, excellent. Eleanor learned just how sheltered Loren truly was. Even her former mistress knew all about the outside world, but then she was allowed to travel outside the citadel's walls. Loren was not. See, this is why monarchies get bad reputations. She knew then that she would have to take better care of the princess than she anticipated. You will now be tipped to the world map. Locations appears that discovered in the storyline. So city and kind of around about. Battles are optional, unlike battles triggered by the storyline. Excellent. You can also access the camp button on the map, take a group's campsite, so you may speak with your party members, getting to know each character important, may even lead to romance, see what you can find. Excellent. Well, given how long this video has now become, I think that's probably an excellent point to stop this video, and I will continue this game in the next one. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in part 2.